The Red Sox season is officially half over. How'd they do? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Sea Radio. My name is Corbin, and thank you very much for clicking on this video. If you couldn't tell, I think these West Coast road trips are going to kill me, but either way, last night's incredibly difficult, miserable loss marked the midway point for the Red Sox in 2025, officially 40-41 halfway through the 2025 season. And our task today is to figure out exactly how this Red Sox team did. We're going to be taking a tier list into this thing and grading every single player that has appeared in a Red Sox uniform this year, including the front office, the ownership, the coaching staff, and the Red Sox overall. And I don't want to waste any more time, so let me just let you know, we are going to be live tonight right here on this channel. We're going out at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be watching the Red Sox try and salvage one game against the Los Angeles Angels and come back to home 500. It's going to be interesting. We're starting it early at 4, so make sure you're here bright and early, 4 o'clock right here on Red Sea Radio. Thank you all very much for considering it. Let's get into this list. Okay, so as you can see, this is the tier list. It's the exact same one we used to grade the Boston Red Sox. Last year, nothing's really changed, right? Categories are elite, very good, good, average, not good, bad, terrible, doesn't have a big enough sample size, and shadow realm, right? The worst are going in there. And we've got Cora, Henry, Breslow, and the Red Sox up front. We're going to go get to those guys after. Let's start with the players themselves. First one being Alcala. This is just simply not enough sample size, right? I don't think there's any other way to put that. Brian Bayo. I think I put Bayo in the average category, right? The ERA solid. He's been more solid lately. He certainly did not start out really good, right? He couldn't make it past 5 innings. This feels average to me. Bernardino, I want to put in the very good category, but for now, I think I'm going to stick him in the good category, right? I think he's just simply been overused this year, and that's what's led to sort of the poor performances lately, but he's been solid overall. Buehler, this is our first shadow realm, right? Banish this dude to the shadow realm. He has been miserable for the Boston Red Sox this season. There's no other way to put that. Not a great signing for the Red Sox. Nick Birdie, again, not enough sample size, not really much to talk about. Christian Campbell, I think, has been bad, right? I feel bad putting him in the terrible category. First taste of Major League Baseball, thrown into a whole bunch of positions. But there just really hasn't been anything super exciting with Campbell so far this year. He's down in AAA, right? You can't exactly say it was a successful first half for him. Crochet, elite, right? There's not much I can say about it. I mean, the dude just threw 7 innings of 0-run baseball and struck out 10 guys against the Angels. This has been a legitimate ace. He's been a legitimate best pitcher, one of the best pitchers in the AL, right? This is your stud, your guy, has to be elite. Bregman, I think you can put in the elite category too, right? He's been injured, yes, but when he's been healthy, he's been one of the better players in Major League Baseball, so tough to say he hasn't been elite. Dobbins, I'm going to put in the good category. I think he's a little bit better than average, right? I think there's been some tough moments, and recently, his last start was really bad, but he was injured, right? He wasn't fully healthy for that one. When he's been healthy, he's been a solid player. Jarren Duran, I'm going to put him in the not good category. This may be a hot take, but the OPS plus is dead average in Major League Baseball. His OPS is dead average. He's not getting on base as much as he did last year. The defense has taken a real step backwards. With the expectations Duran had coming into this season, he's not lived up to them at all, and I think that's a fair criticism to make with Jarren Duran. Cooper Criswell, I don't know. Criswell was not good. There wasn't really much there with him. Michael Fulmer, I'm going to put not enough sample size, right? I mean, he, had like 4 games? Actually, you know what? I'm going to put in the terrible category. He was really bad. He did his job, but ended up DFA'd. Luis Guerrero, I think Luis Guerrero's been good, right? He doesn't have a huge sample size, but when he's been in baseball games, he's looked like a solid reliever for the Red Sox. One of the guys that has been pretty consistent throughout the year, despite coming up and down throughout the minor leagues. Tristan Casas was bad, wasn't he? I don't know that he was in the terrible category, but he certainly wasn't very good, and then he got injured. Now we haven't seen him. Richard Fitz. Fitz was pretty average. Yeah, I think he had some good moments here. I think he had some bad moments here. I think he ended up being a pretty average pitcher for the Red Sox. Once he gets back, his start tonight, we'll see, or while we're live today, we'll see kind of how it goes. Maybe that shifts that a little bit, but for right now, I think he was a solid everyday pitcher. Aroldis Chapman, elite, right? He's one of the best closers in baseball. This guy's been fantastic this year. The Red Sox figured out a way to totally revitalize him as a closer in Major League Baseball. Really, really impressive stuff from the Red Sox with Chapman. I've loved, and I don't like Chapman the person, but the player, you gotta love what's going on here, right? It's been absolutely fantastic. Rafael Devers, I mean, this may be the most controversial one we've had, right? Because the play has been very good, but the off-field stuff has been very bad. So I don't know really where to put this guy. I guess if we're just going in terms of play, he was very good until he got traded to the San Francisco Giants, right? I don't know. Where else do you put him, right? I mean, personality-wise, you probably put him in bad, but play-wise, he was good. Lucas Giolito, I'm going to put not good. I don't think he's as bad is, but I don't think he's been very good this year, right? Recently, he's been a lot better. I think that's a really good sign. Hopefully, the Red Sox have figured something out with him, but right now, it's just sort of right? Nate Eaton, I think we're small enough sample size, right? He's only had, 5 games with the Red Sox, nothing crazy. He looks solid. I'm not going to say he was a bad player by any means, right? And I'm not going to say he was a great player because he just simply doesn't have the sample size. David Hamilton's been bad, dude. There's no other way to put it, right? I mean, honestly, you might even be able to put him in terrible. The offense isn't there. Defense has been a little bit iffy this season. There's just not much here outside of speed for David Hamilton. Romy Gonzalez, I think, has been good, right? I wouldn't say very good or elite, but really, really solid against left-handed pitching at the plate, right? Really fantastic in that category. Really looks athletic over there at first base. Some issues over at second base, some issues with right-handed pitchers. Those are the reason why he's not in the very good to elite category, but he's been solid for the Boston Red Sox for sure. Liam Hendricks, it's either Shadow Realm or terrible, right? There's only 2 options here. The reason I'm going to go Shadow Realm is because not only was he bad on the mound, he also complained about his playing time and has been on the IL, 2 or 3 times this season, right? Best ability is availability. He's done no abilities and has not been available. So I think we're going to put the Shadow Realm. And speaking of the Shadow Realm, welcome in Tanner Houck, right? Tanner Houck has been terrible for the Red Sox in the first half of the season. Major drop off from what we saw last year. His rehab process is pretty much exactly what's going on at the major league level right now, right? He doesn't look like he's made any improvements. Not good for Tanner Houck. Zach Kelly, I'm going to put in I love Zach Kelly, but dude, he just hasn't been good this year. It feels like every time he's on the mound, he's given up some sort of run. You got to put him in that category. Marcelo, this is interesting because I don't know that it's a small enough sample size now to say that it's not enough sample size. I think he's been average, right? The offense has been kind of missing from his game. His defense has been absolutely elite. I think that sort of averages out. I'm expecting big things from Marcelo Meyer in the second half, though. He's showing signs that he's really starting to turn a corner here. Carlos Narvaez, elite. He's one of the best defensive catchers in baseball. The bat has been way better than we expected, right? He's a big reason why the Red Sox have been able to stay even remotely close to 500. So Carlos Narvaez is getting put in that elite category. Sean Newcomb. I have no idea what to do with Sean Newcomb. He wasn't very good, but he also wasn't terrible. I guess that means he's in the bad category, right? He got traded to the A's. He was fine with the Red Sox. He was that white flag victory cigar type player. You know, he did a job. It wasn't great, but he did a job. Nick Sogard. Do I put it in not enough sample size? I mean, he got like 20 games in Major League Baseball. I think it just wasn't very good. It was solid defense. There were some decent moments at the plate, but overall, kind of a nothing burger from Nick Sogard. I'm gonna put Ceddanne Rafael in the very good category. I know that sounds crazy considering the bat isn't incredible, but the defense is fantastic. He's been much better at the plate lately. He's really starting to what feels like turn a corner at the plate for the Sox, and that is absolutely huge. So I think he had a really, really solid first half of the 2025 season. Rob Refsnyder, I'm gonna put in very good. I might even put him in elite. I think I'm going to keep him in very good, though. He's been absolutely everything you want from him, right? If he was a more complete player against right-handed pitching, he'd be in the elite category, but because he's only focused on left-handed pitching, I got to keep him in the very good, keep him out of that elite status. Those are for the best of the best. You know, at the end of the day, he's done his job. He's done his job incredibly well. There's nothing really to complain about. Roman, again, one of those guys that you could put in not enough sample size. I think I'm going to put him there. He's got, 2 weeks worth of games in Major League Baseball. I don't know that that's really enough to say he was, really bad or really good yet. Overall metrics not great, but the underlying metrics are fantastic right now. We'll see how that comes to fruition in the second half. Blake Sable, you can put him in not enough sample size, but we all kind of know who he is, right? We kind of all know who he is and what he did and who he could be. This is exactly where he should be in the terrible category. Justin Slayton, I think I'm going to put him in the average category, right? I think that's really the only spot to put him in. Not healthy this year, has been kind of up and down this season, right? Had some incredible moments, had some bad moments, sort of averages out to an average reliever here. Robert Stock, yeah, it's not enough sample size, right? He's got like 4 innings with the Red Sox this year. He's just sort of one of those guys that came in to fill a spot for the Red Sox when they needed. Still in the Red Sox organization, though. Not great when he's been there. Trevor Story, I think you got to put not good, right? I don't know that it's bad or terrible, to be honest with you, right? Like Christian Campbell has been bad this year. Story at least had a redemption arc in June. Outside of that, the defense has gotten a little bit worse. The offense doesn't simply equate to a good player, right? He just hasn't been a fantastic player for the Red Sox. I just don't know if it's in that really, really bad category. Abraham Toro, I'm going to put in the good category. I think Toro's been good this year, right? He's been a surprise for the Red Sox, kind of taking over that first base role, kind of reintegrating himself into Major League Baseball a bit. I think he's done a job that he needed to do. Lately, it's been falling off a bit, which was to be expected, I think, with Abraham Toro. But for the first half, he's been pretty solid. Greg Weissert, I'm going to put in the good category, and hold on a second. I know he just blew the game last night, but also the Red Sox only scored 1 run. I think if he hasn't been drilled into the ground in terms of usage, by the way, most appearances in Major League Baseball this year from the bullpen, I think he's in the very good to elite category, but recently it's just very clear that the wear and tear has gotten to him, and he just simply can't keep up with the demand. Whitlock, I'm going to put an average, right? I think there's an argument to be made that he's supposed to be lower than this, but I think, again, kind of like Greg Weissert, he's been used a lot, right? And you're starting to see those signs of wear and tear halfway through the season, which isn't a good thing. He did not do well in this series, but I think overall, he's had some really good moments for the Red Sox this season. Justin Wilson, I'm going to put in the good category along with Greg Weissert, right? If Greg Weisert's good, Wilson's been great, right? Wilson's been really, really good. I don't know if he's in the very good to elite category, but he's been really, really good for the Boston Red Sox. Wilyer Abreu, this is a tough one, right? This is a tough one. I think you put in good, right? I think he's been better than the average player. I think he's had a whole lot of ups and downs, but I think it averages out to a better offensive player. The defense has been pretty solid this year, right? There have been times where things haven't gone right, but that's the Red Sox, right? That's the Red Sox, baby. So I think you got to put him in the elite category. Josh Witkowski, I kind of forgot he was still with the Red Sox, to be honest with you. I kind of figured they DFA'd him. He's still in the Red Sox system. He was not good. He was not good, folks, right? There's a reason he's not in the Major League team here. Not good. And finally, we've got Connor Wong, who, do we do Shadow Realm or Terrible? The dude, it took 2 months for Connor Wong to get his first RBI. The defense has been, I guess, okay, right? Blocking hasn't been fantastic, but it took you 2 months to drive in a run. Yeah, you're probably in the shadow realm there, buddy, right? And those are the players on the Boston Red Sox. So let's get into coaching, front office, ownership, and the overall team. All right, Alex Cora, first up. Now, this has been a controversial conversation the entire year, right? We've had many conversations, many debates about whether or not Alex Cora is a good or bad manager. And because it's so split and because the team is so average, there's really no other place to put him than average, right? Some people say he's good. Some people say he's bad. I think he's been a very average manager this year. He's made mistakes. I think the handling of the Rafael Devers stuff falls on his shoulders as well. I think he's done some good things this season. I think he's done some bad things this season. I think it averages out to where the team is, right? A dead middle of the road, nothing burger. John Henry, he spent this offseason, right? He spent this offseason, tried to get Rafael Devers to play first base, didn't work out. I don't really know where to put John Henry. I suppose it's in the average category, right? I suppose, he at least spent money, extended Crochet, extended Campbell, brought in Bregman, so we'll kind of see what happens with that, but I don't really know, right? I have no idea where to put John Henry. Craig Breslow's done some really good things for the Red Sox this year, right? You look at the elite category, all of them are guys that Breslow brought in this offseason, yeah? The terrible size is also guys that Craig Breslow brought in, right? Fulmer, Sable, you've got in the bad category, right? Christian Campbell started the year on the Major League team. Shadow Realm, he's got a couple in there. Hendricks, Buehler. So there's been some really great hits, some really bad hits. I think it's also an average, is it not? Right? The trade of Rafael Devers is extremely controversial, so we'll see sort of where that ends up, right? I think the second half is really going to determine where we are with Craig Breslow, and because the Red Sox are a game under 500, I'm actually going to put them in the not good category, and hear me out. In terms of their record, they're an average baseball team, right? They should be in the average category, but expectations this year were not for the Red Sox to be an average baseball team. They were to be a division contender, and right now they're not a division contender, right? They're barely a wild card contender. So it's hard for me to sit here and say that this is an average Red Sox season, right? I think this is a below average Red Sox season with the roster originally constructed the way it was. So I got to put it in the not good category. And I honestly think there's a conversation to be had that Cora, Breslow, and Henry all deserve to be in that category as well. So this would be a little bit controversial, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts because obviously, as I am the foremost authority on who to grade, right, there should be no arguments as to my grading here. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think? What do you think about the first half of the 2025 Red Sox season? Where do you think guys should be graded out? Did I miss any? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments because I'm sure it's going to be a whole lot of agreeing with my list. But let me know. As always, if you made it to the end of this one, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Just simply helps out a ton. It's the best way to let me know you're enjoying the content. Don't forget, if you guys want to listen instead of watch, all you got to do is head over to your favorite podcasting app and look up Red Seat Radio. Don't forget, live tonight, 4 p.m. Eastern time, right here on Red Seat Radio. And as always, I will see you in the Red Seats.